Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another edition of the 13th Dimension, episode 116. And tonight I have two very special guests with me, Robert and Marie Murphy, who are still muted. Hi, Kate.
We have been cussing.
There we go. Hi.
I,
Guys,
I thought he already muted us.
Yes, I know.
I was like,
I'm
I
glad he-
unmuted and then right back to mute. Hey guys.
I
Jerry, how you doing?
actually tried to tell you earlier that you were going to have to unmute yourself before we went live, and then once the video was on, I realized that I had muted myself before I told you that. And I thought,
No, it's wild because I went ahead and unmuted and then all of a sudden the mute popped back on. I was like, okay, that maybe you're doing it from your side.
yeah, it sometimes it gets a little crazy on these shows. Things happen.
Yep. Beth is on.
Hi, Beth.
Hello, Beth. Um, so as always, I have you on this show every season.
Yeah, we enjoy it. We've been on right from the beginning. It's been a great ride and great networking with yourself, obviously. We enjoyed it.
um, and and it is so good being able to share ideas the way that we do, because I know that last time we talked we had some, I think it was last time, we had some really good ideas going back and forth, especially with my theories on the dog whistle.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was fantastic, and the fact that you freely share things, and that's why we do really good with our networking and our the way we work together is, there's no holds. It's put the idea out there. You've had situations where obviously that's worked really well for you.
It
So many people in the
Just
field
sharing.
want to hold that stuff, hold that information to themselves. And I think it's great. You're quick to put things out there that you've tried that's worked, or ask questions. Hey, has anybody tried this or that?
Yeah, a lot of people have tried different things, and they've all come out with some real interesting results.
That's what we need. I mean, we need people, and again, thinking outside the box instead of being that cookie cutter what you see and just doing it the same way of what you see. Quit worrying about how anybody else perceives it. If it works for you, it works.
Well, here's the thing, for me, cookie cutter is boring.
Uh,
Cookie cutter's easy. Easier.
Easier.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if you do when I say cookie cutter, you watch people on TV, and honestly, and I'm not knocking every one of them, but a lot of them are just actors that went out for the roll call to be on a show that have never had the experience before. And so people see the exact and try to set up and
Well, that's what
copycat
I'm
the same
saying.
exact.
It's easier because you're just mimicking what somebody else has already come up with.
It is, but do you want to go through the motions without having good results? I mean, honestly, if you're going
Not
to go out in the
really.
field, don't you want to try to have that interaction, real interaction?
Well, I always have interaction because they're attracted to me. So I just like I'm lucky that way. I guess they're gonna come to me.
For me, it's always been, we do the same thing over and over and over and over. What can we do to switch it up? And that's what I looked for. Switch it up and maybe get different kinds of results from um, methods where half the time you don't get anything. You're just sitting on your butt, talking to yourself in the dark.
That's my
Do that a
favorite
lot.
statement when we're actually dealing with a residential. People call up and they're so worried about it, and they're like, I'm not crazy. And
Some
first
of
they're
them
trying to
are.
tell you, well, yeah, some of them definitely are. First, they're trying to convince you as far as that one, they don't believe in ghosts or spirits or anything else,
Yeah.
but yet they've got one in their house, but they're not crazy. But it's like, look, we're the ones sitting in the dark talking to ourselves. Relax. Who are we to judge?
Exactly.
Having said that, I got a little funny story to share with you tonight. It actually came from an interaction that I had on YouTube. Let me get it. There we go. Stop that music real quick. So So to give you a little context, I am a big fan of the 1980s music. So I was listening to "Putting on the Ritz" by Taco.
Mhm.
Brilliant the way that he did it. There was a guy that posted that made a comment on the video. He said that he used to work overnight security in a haunted chemical plant, and this song, "Putting on the Ricks in the Dark at 3 a.m., made him immune to ghosts.
Okay.
I thought,
They
okay,
didn't like
Right.
it.
kind of an interesting statement. So I thought I would kind of jump on it. I asked, "Hey, can you tell me about this factory? I have a team. I would love to hear about this." And he said he would love to share the information, but he signed a contract with an NDA, so he can't share. Now, naturally, a whole bunch of people jumped in saying, "Oh yeah, you signed an NDA," and I'm thinking, well, if it's a chemical plant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you may have to sign one. Then 2 days ago, let's see if I find it here. Um, 2 days ago, here it is. This guy pops up, tags me, and says, "Get a load of this guy. Believing in ghosts in Big 2026 is wild." I thought, okay.
Right.
So my response is, a vast majority of the people believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
And then he responded right back, "Yeah, I have mental illnesses too, just not that particular flavor."
Oh my
I
god.
thought, boy, you just made a big mistake.
Yep.
Because if you give me an opening, I will take it. So I responded back to him and said, "Yeah, and it's showing too." And, and then he said, "Says the guy that believes in spooky ghosts." And I didn't respond back that that one doesn't warrant one. But yeah, it's kind of crazy how it seems like more and more people do believe in this stuff, and yet those that don't, they go further down into thinking that it's all a mental illness now.
I think from what so many people, there is a lot of fake and obviously made up, silly junk that just really goes against our field, and unfortunately takes the credibility away from the field.
It
I,
does.
I've got guys, I'll run into guys that I actually work with out in the field as far as I'm in construction and whatnot, and they'll be like, and I have that on my, I've got Ghost Hunter across the windshield of my Camaro, and they're like, "Have you found any?" And at first they want to play with it. Danika's on. At first they want to just play with the idea of go, just, oh, ooh, like it's just, but when you start actually talking to them and actually go into a few details, their eyes start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Because I'm not going to sit there and BS them. And I'm like, no, you need to see for yourself. You really, I mean, I would prefer for you to, you could be on the fence, but don't make an honest decision until you can get in the field and actually experience something for yourself.
Mhm.
And then he was kind of a little bit hesitant about whether or not the last one, whether or not did he really want to go in the field and find out. So,
Well, um, I did have one guy at my work who was mocking me because I was doing all of this stuff. And he's like, "Oh, ghosts don't exist." Yeah, they do. And and finally, I had enough. I was like, you know what? You simply just hadn't had an experience, and it's really going to come down to, when you do have an experience, who are you going to go to?
That's true.
well, I would say probably everyone, but let's just say 98%, whatever, of the population have had experiences. They've had phantom smells that they're in an elevator and there's, let's say construction, so you don't have perfume in there, and all of a sudden they get that overwhelming floral or perfume, or there's somebody in the house that, it's a stone house. It's not something that's got wood that's going to leach it out at a certain time when the humidity levels change, but all of a sudden they smell that pipe smoke
Yeah.
and they know who used to smoke that pipe. I mean, it just all of a sudden. But a lot of people try to dismiss it. It's no different than seeing things. We see movement and we're like, oh, that must have been something in my eye, whatever. And we try to, and for two reasons. One is usually most people that are like that are actually scared if it's real. They don't want it to be real. But how many of them will not put their feet down off the side of the bed at night? How many of them will shut the closet door?
Right.
Some of them are still sleeping with lights on.
Hey, don't knock
And
the
if they get
nightlight,
scared,
people.
how many people put the blanket over their head? So,
I'm a nightlight person.
Yeah, well, for some of these people, this stuff is scary.
Yeah,
and understandably so for the ones that have had true experiences.
it
But
used to be for
Yeah.
me.
yeah,
It took
well,
me
you
a
had that
long
crazy.
time.
You lived in a very active house.
Oh yeah,
I mean, the typical person would say definitely haunted.
yeah. When you have a spirit come lay next to you crying on the bed, yeah, that's pretty haunted. I would say.
I've had both sides of the spectrum. I've had I had one lady that lived just 5 miles down the road. She was
God,
absolutely scared in
oh,
her house.
freaking cat, give me a heart attack.
We were talking about black cats earlier.
Oh my god, she'll be like,
She was absolutely scared. So she messaged me, gave me her number. I called her, and just a conversation. She said she was feeling better, but she was still scared in the house. We the team had been to her house 3 or 4 times, but eventually she ended up moving and going to another town. Not because of the activity that was going on in her house, but other reasons caused her to move and relocate.
Well,
Uh,
look at how many people do move because they believe their house is haunted, and they,
yeah,
you know, instead of reaching out to get help, or unfortunately sometimes, and we know it happens. Sometimes they get help, but the people they call, unfortunately, are not the right ones. They come, a door closes or opens, and they out of the house they go and leave the homeowners there.
or they just come there and ramp it up and make it even worse. And like,
Yes,
oh,
yeah,
sorry, don't.
yeah.
Left.
And an incident like that makes it look bad on all of us because now they're under the impression that we all are like that.
yeah.
Yep.
And I think all of the platforms have absolute benefits, and there's two different types. There's one that's just outright entertainment.
Yeah.
Where the guys are screaming and freaking out on anything and everything. It doesn't matter really what it is. They're just, and look, when we were young, we used to like that entertainment too. It was the horror flicks. We used to sit up late at night, mom and dad's in bed, they're asleep, everybody's asleep, or nobody's home, whatever. And then we cut all the lights out and watch the scary movies
Mhm.
to freak ourselves out, to have some fun. That's what we considered fun. And that's what a lot of the population that are watching these young guys on YouTube that are just, they're hyping things up dramatically. But people have to understand that's completely different
Yeah.
than the field that we consider as far as when we're actually going at it legitimately with integrity. That's a complete, you're not going to have things that are going to happen 24, all the entire time that you're there.
Yeah. I don't know. You get the certain amount, of people together that have the right chemistry. Stuff
Chemistry
is
is,
going to happen.
yeah. Well, you were talking about it as far as those, like Beth's on right now. I know
Yeah,
she
Beth has
understands,
got it.
Tanika understands as well. People that have abilities that are more open do draw attention from the other side a lot more.
Yeah.
And when you have people that have a higher amount, people that have a certain level of the information that they can spew out at any given time, that there's no way they actually knew. It's not posted on Facebook or
Yeah.
StreamYard or whatever, but yet they can go ahead and give personal details and information to people.
Yeah.
That's impressive when you've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lately, for me, when I go somewhere, it's become more about exploring the place instead of actually investigating. 'Cause for example, the jail up here in Crown Point, the one that you were supposed to come up to before you broke your arm.
Yep.
Um, this last time, I spent more time on the porch talking to the ladies that run the place and getting to know more about the history of it because I know that place like the back of my hand. So I'm finding
Oh, wow, Bill's on.
find, hello, I'm finding it better for me to just sit there and talk about it instead of actually going through all the dark when I've been through everything now. I've been there more times than I have been anywhere else.
I like to observe, and especially even the people that are there, because you'll get a really good sense. If you get somebody who's actually local, you get a sense, and if you sit off to the side, they're more likely to open up to you more.
Yeah.
And sometimes it all of a sudden it just kind of triggers some things that they might not. It might not be this grand event that
Yeah.
happened, but it's more credible what they're talking about. Would
Yeah.
you stop?
Yeah, I like that place we went in the Poconos. I can't remember the name of it. That was a cool
Oh, the
place.
candle shop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the candle shop. Yeah,
That
that
was
was neat.
amazing.
Yeah, I was a little worried there when the cat had his tail sticking up. Are we going to see
Being-
something?
She's spoiled. She wants attention.
It's funny because it's only when if we come and we do a live is when she'll come down here and stay right on the chairs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Other than that, she won't hang down here. The Stormy will.
Yeah.
Tim and Crystal had a cat that every time we were online, that cat would literally walk across their keyboard
We've had that
on
too.
the laptop. Yeah,
This one knows better now.
Yeah.
yeah, but she always had to make an appearance. It wasn't a 13th Dimension show until Ghost made his appearance.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
So behind you guys, I see a whole bunch of nifty little toys.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
quite a few. Quite a few.
Yeah. So so the whole purpose of this show here is to do like an infomercial.
Okay.
Um, to talk about all of the new things that you have been making and what their purposes are and why you are choosing like Winnie the Pooh there. Why do you have Winnie? Why do you have I think it's a train, that blue and red thing behind Marie.
Yep, back over
Oh,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can't really make it out, but it looks like a train.
We'll bring it up in just a
We'll bring
moment.
some stuff
Yep.
up closer.
Yeah, started building just as far as the background. I started building, and then as Marie and I started dating, and it wasn't too long before that, after that, when all of a sudden at first she was like, I could never do that. And I'm like, what do you mean? Everything you put your mind to, you can do. So now we both build. And the idea was to build equipment that isn't just a bunch of gadgets. It's something that would be basically a trigger object, something that they might be more familiar with, a child's toy. I mean, this is just from like the Goodwill or something. We'll take children's toys that already have the essence of children because they've been played with by kids
Right.
and modify them so we can't call them REM pods now. They act the same
It's
way
like
as
a
REM
REM pod, but better. This is
There
an
you go.
info.
There you go. I like that. So that so if something gets closer to it to touch it or anything, it'll light up or have an audible alarm. To us, it was more important to have something that they could relate to. No different than the lantern. That was one of the earlier pieces as well.
Now,
Having
what gave you the initial idea to start building yourself?
the initial, pass me that one on the very end over there, the tall one. Yep.
'Cause
So
I know that when I first met you, the idea of building anything was so far from your mind.
it was. I was like, because I'm not. Look, I'm not an electrician. I don't know wires. I didn't know anything about building. But it was kind of frustrating because the prices out there for pretty much anything was ridiculous, and it was just going higher. And don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, I understand some of the reasons why the prices are up a little bit, given the cost of everything now, but they didn't have to be as far as what they were. So I wanted to put some product out there that wasn't so costly. At the same time, people have gotten to a point where they're doing ghost tours or ghost hunts and they have more people there or they have videos. So the first thing I came up with idea was this right here. It was motion sensor on the top. This is all for the lights. It's going to make noise for a second, but you get an idea as far as brightness.
It's like a lifesaver.
Right, but having something that's a
Yeah.
larger visual, everybody doesn't have to get right on top of each other to be able to see something light up. It was something that was the thought behind it. And then we couldn't really do very much out in the weather, so I heat shrinked it so that if it's raining, light rain or anything, it wouldn't bother it. It would be perfectly fine. And at the same time, instead of it just being a vertical, you can also place it horizontal and cover like stairwells and stuff like that for movement. And I had the idea, the concept behind it, but I had no idea how to wire it. And thank God my oldest son is like a little MacGyver. I mean, he's like, Dad, just tell me what you're trying to create and I'll tell you how to do it.
Okay, that's cool.
Easy,
Without him, no, I wouldn't be
amazing.
building at all. Because I could go back and be like, look, I did this, I did whatever. He could troubleshoot something so quick, and he would teach me how to. It wasn't just he did things. He'd say, look, this, if you want this to power up this way, this is how you'd have to connect it. So once he showed me the general idea, I could go ahead and transfer that to pretty much anything I build now.
Okay.
So that was really the reason behind it. I wanted something that I didn't see out there. I've never seen a vertical stick like this. As soon as we put it out,
And
of course, a week
as soon
later,
as we started making the sticks, they
people
started being imitated.
people that came to where we first actually started showing them at a vendor event, people that I talked to, no worse than that. I actually talked to them, and then here they are a week later trying to put
And
things
they
out.
really, what they did was, a lot of them were not manufactured well. The knockoff ones that
They had a lot of issues.
Yeah, so
we were just waiting for spare
that gave
parts.
us our original one a bad rep. I'm like, dang.
And it happens, unfortunately. And then if you go the lantern, and it's not always our idea. The lantern was not my idea. We'll take pretty much anybody's idea, but somebody asked me and said, look, how about taking a lantern and making it so that it could work as well? So if something gets close to it, it'll light it up. Lanterns have been around for such a long time, more so than flashlights. So, if we're talking about spirits, ghosts, could they relate to something like a lantern a lot easier?
That's why I usually have a lantern whenever I go somewhere, especially an old place like a jail.
Yeah.
Jails,
Great
railroads.
trigger outfit.
Well, we originally built a lantern, and then again, here's somebody from the field says, hey, I've got a place that's part of the Underground Railroad. Danica, we'll definitely go ahead and be
Looks
taking.
looks like we're making a sale here on this show.
Another young lady that's part of the field, she's like, well, I've got a place that's part of the Underground Railroad, but I can't use noise. So can you make it without noise? So we added a second switch that cuts the noise off.
And I think we had a lady just contact us. Was she deaf?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
She wanted to know about the, I guess, the lights.
Yeah. She got one of the spirit bells. She was deaf, so she couldn't hear on the video. She couldn't hear the noise or anything. So she's like, what do the lights mean? And
this is our number one seller, you guys.
Yeah,
this is the hot ticket right
this
here.
actually rocks really, really well. There's a couple of reasons behind this, and this and the Jack in the Boxes. The idea is to take it to the next level. Let me cut it off I'll cut the noise off for a second. So the young lady that just contacted us recently is deaf, and she's like, what exactly? Evidently didn't read what I wrote in there, but I explained how it's going to light up to our body's energy. But she's like, well, is there a way of knowing how the bell rings? So what I'm going to end up doing is probably creating another one that has a different color, like two other lights or whatever. I'm going to do another light that's just going to be associated straight with the bell itself ringing, so she would be able to know that the bell actually rang, possibly even have a counter on it. But the point with this one, just like every other, whether it's a REM pod, EMF detector, whatever people want to call it, has lights, has sound. Those, some units can definitely be influenced by, obviously a weak battery, random RF signals, whatever. If something actually rings this,
Here we go.
And that's happened actually twice here.
Twice here. We've had now 3 other locations, because remember Ditto House it happened
the
at.
Ditto House, yeah.
There's 3 other locations two places that we know of, here and at the Ditto House, and then there was 3 other locations that have had the bell actually ring that we've been told about so far. Something has to manipulate the bell for you to hear the sound.
Right.
So
I'm going to put the link to your store here in the comments. I'm going to ask one of your friends to click on it to make sure that the link actually works, because when I went to it, it gave me this big, long thing here, and I had to try to condense it down to what I think is actually the size.
yeah, it should just be Etsy.com. Hang on, I'll take it.
Well, I got it up here in the comments.
Okay.
Okay. It's 24elite dot www.24elite.etsy.com. That should go the
So
fastest.
okay, so because what? Oh, okay, I see it. So when I clicked on it, it took me to Etsy, and it switched everything around. Okay, well,
Appreciate that.
that should still work.
Yeah.
Or you can just go to Etsy and put in 24 Elite and it should come up also.
Yeah. A lot of the, not necessarily, you don't have to actually target any specific, but when we actually built the bell, didn't even have an idea. There's another one that's out. We call this spirit bell. There's a dead bell out there, and we are not by all means trying to have the same thing of the spirit bell. It's another bell that's used.
No,
A
that
young
one
lady came up
sucks.
to us and said, "Have you ever thought about using a bell? Because a hospitality bell has been around for a long time." So we thought it was a great idea. We built it. Then a couple of months later, we turn around and we go out. We grounded Paranormal. They
Yeah.
they had a dead bell. We were up in Sachs Bridge.
Yeah, don't let that one fool you because that's what happened with us.
But any equipment, and this is really important for everybody to know. I mean, seriously, any equipment can be manipulated.
Yes.
Yeah,
Electronics can be manipulated. People's cell phones can be manipulated with text. Uh, Again, any piece can be manipulated. It's just what's going to work more routinely, and not. There's some thought out there that some people are like, well, somebody on the other side, a ghost or spirit on the other side, they know everything more than we do. How do you know that? Where did they get that information from? Because that's not what we find. We go to a location, we're going to sit down. One, our approach is completely different than most people. Most people are going to all, storm an area with 10 or 20 people in a small 10 by
Yeah.
10 room.
You're
And
just running the ghosts out of there. Like, yeah, get out of
I
here.
would leave personally. I usually back away from something like that. So typically we'll go into a location, we're going to sit down, we're going to calm down, and then we're going to kind of state our intentions, regardless of whether or not they know it or not. We're going to state it.
Yeah.
And then as we put pieces of equipment out, we want to explain how they're used, just like we would to somebody who's living. Why should we look at it any differently?
A lot of the toys you guys see is because a lot of times we come across the children's spirits and they're more likely to interact. I don't know why, but they do, it seems like. And the toys are very attracted to the children's spirits. They like them.
yeah.
We
Well, I actually have a Care Bear REM pod. Uh,
Oh,
I think it's Grumpy, the one with the rain clouds.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I got. I actually won that in a raffle from the Save Waverly campaign.
it just makes sense to have something like that. And I had one of the original REM pods, the round canister, and honest to God, it's only gone off twice. That when I was using, I haven't used it in God, I haven't used any of them in years and years. But when I had it only gone off twice. It didn't mean it was broke, but is something more likely to go to a gadget, or if it's going to go, would you go towards a gadget, or would you go towards something that you're familiar with?
I can tell you right now, the Bell has been popular and they've been to different locations and highly likely that spirits, I don't know what it is, but they like the Bell.
Well, the sensitivity is extremely important, and if you look at different pieces of equipment, some you have to touch, and the bell you do not have to touch. It's got a decent range
Yeah.
to it. And I haven't even changed batteries in these in a while, but you don't have to touch it. It's already going to go ahead and go off. The
Yeah.
stronger the battery, the better the field that you can have. And that's important because not every kid, not every spirit or ghost, anybody on the other side is necessarily going to want to actually touch something. What if they get close to it?
Yeah.
That's enough to let me know that they're there.
And plus, with a bell like that, who can resist the urge to ring?
Yeah. I, yeah. You're
Yeah.
right.
Guys, those things were in every hotel in America, and probably still are. And you always had to ring one of those things to get somebody to behind the counter.
Hotels, all the different stores and shops had them. They'd have them sitting there, ring bell for service.
Yeah.
Hospitals, everybody had them, and they're not going to be harmful. It's just to get somebody's attention. So if they want your attention, and right after we built these, we started having here even at the house. I mean, they learned how to use them really quick, and it was pretty amazing. I tell the one story when we first had them. Marie wanted more activity to start happening. So I'm like, well, the way you do that is you put out more and you start trying to interact more, and you're trying to open the door to get more to come in, pretty much. And so we put them like on my dresser in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's when we had activity.
Yeah, now it's gone flat,
It's
but
like
except for the
chasing
cat.
her. Yeah.
So
But
something I want to ask you about some of this equipment. Do
sure,
you put any glow in the dark paint on them?
Oh.
yeah, we have a
Oh, that's not it. That's
that.
I
It's
thought
not
the one.
that board. Pass me that one for a second. But yeah, we do. Um, this is a trigger tray, so basically anything. The idea is that you could put different things into the box, and if something gets close to it, poker chips, money, coins, whatever,
Yeah.
candy, if something goes to reach for it, someone goes to reach, it's going to light up. And we ended up taking it like one of these, and we just tried it out, and we started where all the green was. We went ahead and put the glow in the dark, and sure enough, the glow in the dark is
Yeah,
works
I
out
don't know
really
where
super
that one
well.
is, but
Yeah,
yeah.
because something that I've been wondering about lately, because we're always in the dark and we can't always see things that we put down. So I think it'd be nice to be able to have that glow in the dark for us to be able to locate anything from a distance. But at the same time, it makes me wonder, how do spirits see?
That's true.
Um, are they able to see in the dark, or do they have any level of difficulty like we do?
Well, that's a great question, and that's one that, to me, we've been able to actually find the answer to. And I'm not saying that every one of them can. Easter eggs. What do you do with those plastic Easter eggs besides Easter?
I haven't had them in 40 years, so I wouldn't even know.
But you use them for ghost hunting, use them for paranormal investigations. One thing that you have rods and cones in your eyes, and when you're in low light situation, a lot of times if you're staring at something, whether it's a door across the room or a ball, it almost looks like it's moving. I mean, most people think something's moving just a little bit, and it's only because your depth perception is actually moving in your eye. It's not really the object moving. So to your point, the clear cat balls, they're extremely popular. You're right. Put a spiral of glow in the dark on it. It's amazing how many of them you won't step on when you go to move.
Yeah, I've never stepped on one, but I have been next to somebody who has.
They should have made Legos glow in the dark. I don't tell you how many
Wouldn't that be
times I've
great?
stepped on Legos and like, oh my gosh.
What
But
they need to do is make a steel casing for those glow in the dark, like a steel frame, and then cover it with plastic, clear plastic, so it can still work the way that they want it to, but have something hard of a frame so that if you do step on it, it's not going to break it.
Oh, like a cage. Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be
that
cool.
makes sense. To
Yeah.
answer your question about color, two different things we're doing. We have the flashlights we use typically. We'll use flashlights, and we use different color flashlights. These are just mag lights. That's typically what we use, but they are different color for a reason. You start getting the lights to light up, then you can say, hey, can you turn the pink one on
Yeah.
and see if it follows your what direction, if it turns the gold one on or the pink one on.
Okay.
The thing is, once you put them out, I usually use between 3 and 6. Once I put them out, I don't memorize what color is where. So often I'll ask for can you turn the red one on?
Yeah, and we use those
And,
at my dad's.
and we have to turn around and turn the light on to
My
see which one was the
grandma
red
would
one.
be answering through the purple one, and the other spirit
Yep.
there, Shane, he was answering through the silver, and we determined that by the different questions, and they've had their own.
Yep.
They had their own light.
They were
flashlight
utilizing their own,
color.
to
Yeah.
answer. The Easter eggs, in the dark, I sure as hell cannot see what color one of the Easter eggs are, the plastic Easter eggs. The nice part is because they're oblong, if they actually move, they're gonna waddle, they're gonna move very
Yeah.
obvious. It's not gonna be that little bit of a shift. So that's why they're not perfectly round. That's the one benefit. The second is color. There's numerous times when we've asked, hey, what color is this? And I can't even see it because it's dark. Unless you're behind an IR camera, you can't see in the dark. I'm going, what color is this? And it'd say blue, purple, whatever.
Well, even with IR, you wouldn't be able to tell what color it is
What
because
color?
it
Correct.
looks like it's gray.
Correct. But to turn around, we can't see anything without. I mean, when somebody's behind a camera and when people watch it on TV, it gives a real different perspective because they're watching the IR and yeah, we're different grays, but it looks like we can see pretty clearly what's going on in there. They don't realize, no, it's really dark as shit in there. It's just, y'all can see it. We can't. I'm like, so often I'm like, look, especially if we're in an attic where it's low ceiling and everything, I know I look like a drunkard trying to walk around
Or
sometimes.
you could be like me. I can't see if the lights are on.
Right. But we'll ask what color the egg is, and they'll tell us the color, and then we'll have to turn the light on to see. And
they're right.
They're always right. They're always right. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. So we can't see the color, but they can.
It's amazing what a spirit will actually use to communicate. Because I can tell you the wildest thing that's ever happened is that clicker pin.
You can hear the sound.
Had a way of being able to combat not being able to see in the dark. I don't know if you remember when I used to wear my eye patch.
Yes.
And I would take the eye patch off when I was at a location. I could actually see everything because my eye was so opened up that just the tiniest thing was coming in.
Yeah.
It's like if you spend enough, and not to that degree, but you spend enough time in the woods. I used to hunt from a very young age, but I'd get in there when it was dark out. So your eyes would give yourself time to acclimate. Mm-hmm. And your eyes can adjust very well in most situations. Now, there's other places that are cave dark. When you're in something that's cave dark, like a cave or anything,
you don't know which way.
You ain't seeing nothing. Yeah, it's just dark. It's crazy.
I was asking about putting a cat ball in the Easter egg.
Cat ball in the Easter egg?
To see if it lights up, I'm guessing.
Well, even through the plastic of the Easter egg, you should be able to see the light in there.
Yeah, I would think you definitely should be able to see it, which there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
We've even taken that same thought process as far as putting it inside. It's like the flashlights. We've put them inside mason jars. We've put them in other containers and then set them down and just to see whether or not they would still be able to go ahead and be manipulated. And they were still manipulated. Nothing seemed to stop it. Nothing that we've used so far has stopped something from being activated.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm looking at your website here, and one thing caught my eye, mainly because I'm a big clown fan.
Yes.
Oh, God, I hate clowns.
I see that you have made a Jack-in-a-Box.
Oh, my, yeah. Got it right here. This?
The Jack-in-a-Box, along as with the Spirit Bell, both are for the next level. The idea of it really blossomed from the Real Ditto House down in Kentucky. Yeah. That was really,
that is such an active house.
It is crazy active there, and it's pretty wild because at the time we only knew the people online. We ended up going down there.
I love them. Ernie and Denise, they're such great people. Anyway,
I've stayed there myself a couple years ago. I love that house.
That place is so
the whole area that they lived in. Yeah. And Denise was telling me a couple of weeks ago that there's actually a house that I had my eye on up for sale. She's like, come in and buy it, be our neighbor.
I wonder if it's the one that we wanted to look at.
Yeah, there was one that was very, very reasonable to go ahead and get.
Is it the one that was in the corner where I think it used to be a bank? The front door is actually in the corner of the house?
I don't know. They were remodeling.
This one was perpendicular from their house. It was on a street that, if you think of them being on the right side of an end of a T, it was just on. I couldn't tell you. I don't recall the door itself.
Okay, the one that I saw was about, I want to say 2 blocks from their house.
It might
be the one because it was a little ways from there.
But
it's right on the corner.
Yeah.
And the front door is in the corner of the house, and straight with the wall.
They were talking about that one having plenty of activity. Absolutely. And considering the activity that the Real Ditto House has,
man, I'm telling you, you can't. That's one place you're going to get something.
We ended up sending this down to them, and it was wild because we'd have lives just like this, or we'd just be talking on the phone, and Ernie would grab it and he'd go ahead and put it up on the mantle or put it on the floor or wherever, and he'd say, "Okay, you guys can play with it." And sure as hell, it would just start lighting up and just going to town. And at first, you have two buttons on it. You have one as far as for the power, and then you have the opposite side on the right hand side is going to be for the sound. And Denise was talking about, she's like, yeah, they just keep us up. I was like, well, turn the sound off. It's got a button. She goes, no, we love to hear it though. So it was kind of a, well, then they were going through so many 9-volt batteries.
Right.
So I said, I'll tell you what, I'll make one so that you can plug it in and just leave it plugged in and it would still work perfectly fine.
Yeah, when we were there, it was
made.
going off. It was pretty neat to see it.
Yeah, but if it's one that you have to plug in, you only have so many limited options of where you can put it.
For their situation, because they keep it in a room, there's a particular room. And they could go to whatever room and plug it in and that'd be perfectly
room,
fine.
Though,
they have power in their house.
The little children spirits would stay in that one room. Usually, typically.
But some people like to go ahead and have a static cam and have objects out that they can go ahead and just let the camera run 24/7. So it was another option. Again, learn from other people in the field. Hey, can you make it? We're going through batteries left and right. Okay, here, let's go ahead and fix it. And it's only because it's being manipulated and used. Again, we heard the bell ringing while we were there. We heard the bell ringing. So then came the idea of the jack in the box. So this is the antenna. You have the lights underneath. That's the normal, just like a REM pod.
This is where anxiety started as a child. This toy right here.
So what they would do down there, Ernie and Denise would take, and they go so far, and then they would stop. But when they come back, and it's mechanical. It's got to go so far before the latch opens. Mm-hmm. But when they come back, it's popped up. So something has to manipulate it to make it pop up.
Yeah, so if you turn it until you got like one more crank left, and then you put it somewhere and you come back and it's popped up, something's been trying to play with it.
It doesn't just pop up by itself. It has a physical latch that holds it.
When I saw that, I thought the perfect place to use that would be at the Clown Motel in Nevada.
Yeah, that would be tight.
I pass.
Between
Clowns
that and
freak me out, man.
Get a one of the clown dolls in there and build it out like we have for the other ones.
Pennywise just
they have more than just Pennywise.
And then my brother was in the clowns, and he had all the creepy clowns, and I never liked them. Never.
I'm a huge clown fan.
You would have loved
it. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, he had everything, and he had there was a band like Insane Clown Posse or something, and they were.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? My brother was so into that. He had clown everything.
There's plenty of people that seem to be terrified about clowns and porcelain dolls. And it doesn't matter what the doll looks like. I mean, we have some creepy ones, don't get me wrong.
I've never met anybody who is afraid of porcelain dolls. I can understand them being a little eerie, but never anybody that's afraid of them.
We set them up at vendor shows, and really I thought this was going to be the hottest by all means, because definitely we have, there's children's spirits. These have the biggest range EMF detection field of everything we build is definitely the dolls. And each one is just a little bit different, but the range is much better. Get down, Stormy. The range is much better with these, but women used to go ahead and have dolls, have porcelain dolls. It was very normal for women. They used to have some that they would sit on in the middle of the bed that had the big skirt around them and everything, but it was very common for women to go ahead and have them. Yeah. And of course, children, as far as especially the little girls, they used to play with, that was the one thing they would play with dolls. So again, we were trying to say, okay, here's something it should be, and it's going to be that much more sensitive. And we've used them in locations, and we've had a lot of activity.
Yeah, we have.
And not activity with just this random thing. You can turn around and it's like no different than the cat balls. We get to a location, and if there's, somebody who has abilities says, hey, there's some kids right here. I've left so many of the cat balls at a location. Say, look, if you can turn it on after they turned it on a couple of times, 3 times, 4 times, it was very spot on. I'm going to leave it for them. Let them go ahead and have it. Thank you very much. I appreciate the interaction. And that's pretty much just like with the Ditto House. They have things out for the kids to go ahead and play with.
Yeah, and the kids actually move the rocks and stuff. They put them on the stairs.
So to me, I think it's phenomenal. But we'll have these for our vendor events, and I'll have 5 or 6 of them sitting in a spot. and people will start being moving back away from them as they walk by, and they go back closer to the table. I'm like, it's a porcelain doll, for God's sakes. And honestly, it's not. It's not like one of the scary ones. It's not like creepy
Well,
or
ever
anything.
since Annabelle came out, people are kind of like think all the dolls are possessed.
All ages. It's all ages, though. It's
Well, they made that one up to look creepy. They did that intentionally. The real Annabelle doll is
The
cute.
real the real doll is actually like Raggedy Ann, but I've seen
Yeah,
that. I've seen the real one, and the real one is huge. It's like person size. The real Annabelle doll is huge.
really?
It's a yeah.
Yeah, it's not like your normal size doll.
That
I mean,
doll
it's
is
like
huge.
she's sitting
Yeah,
down.
that's what I thought. I thought it was just a.
No, the
It-
real.
it's
I've
not.
seen it before.
When you see the little Annabelle, that's not the real Annabelle.
No,
The real Annabelle is a very large,
she's a huge doll. Yeah.
Wow.
compared to
Yeah.
what you would think. Yeah.
Well, they should have used that one and make that one move all over the place like a. Person. No, the porcelain dolls. I never did think about them because I've got about 20 of those myself. They belong to my mom,
Yeah.
and when she passed, they all came to me.
But see, same thing though. The women used to have them. It was very common.
Yeah. So they've been around for a while. So yeah.
So started modifying those, putting those out there. And again, the ones that we have put out have been they've
Yeah.
been excellent as well. Uh, Nothing though seems to be beating the box. The
Yeah, the
spirit bell, that
bell
just is
here
crazy.
is I have to say that's the one.
And of course, with any equipment, it's no different than the spirit than our bells. At first, when we start putting equipment out, um, you have the nine. Everything runs on a 9 volt that we're utilizing. We build with 9 volt battery as the power. It's one consistent power source, so you don't have to have double A's for this, triple A's for that. Um, the problem we have is there's plenty of people that don't know how to put a 9 volt in.
My God.
And I mean, to the point of even like, how do you get to it? You take a screwdriver and take the screws out. What's a screwdriver?
Oh
And
my
that was an
God.
honest question. So I'm like,
No, this has been multiple times.
yeah.
Not
So
just
typically on your 9 volt battery box, it's got a cover to it. The cover just kind of helps, but the cover isn't what should hold the 9 volt in there. So at first, when we start putting them out, it was like, I don't even want to put the 9 volt cover in it, because if it doesn't hold in there when you put the 9 volt in, then it's not connected. There's your troubleshooting right there, the first and foremost. And then in shipping, it can, unfortunately, we don't control the post office, and do not think that someone may have taken some jump shots. I guarantee you they are.
we might should start
Yeah,
to getting like the chargeable one.
I do already have some.
We'll have to charge more.
I have some chargeables for it, but the idea though is things like the battery can be shifted in transit. I mean, we include batteries with all of us because we want to test our equipment before it goes out. But regardless, if you have a battery, if it's cold weather batteries, if it's a long time in between you going out to the field, you want to change your battery, and you want to know how to change your battery, and you want to make sure you use name brand batteries. Highly suggested. We use the cheapest battery because we go through so many.
what I always do is for all of my equipment, I take all the batteries out until it's time to use them again.
Yeah, that's smart.
Unfortunately, you go into the field. Most people are pretty lazy about their equipment, and you have to decide if you're really into it. Very smart to do, as far as you just said, take the batteries out. That's going to make your equipment last a lot longer, and you're also going to know whether or not the battery is going to be good when you put it in.
Yeah.
But so many people run into issues, and we have people, even when we're at the vendor shows, they'll bring their equipment. It's not our equipment. They bring other equipment going, hey, can you check this out? I paid $200 for it and it doesn't work. Half the time it's just the damn battery. Honestly. I have changed so many batteries, and if I have the batteries on hand, I just put them in there, and once it's working, there you go, buddy. It's back up. It's running good. And people are very appreciative of it, but it just helps. Again, that's just helping the field in general. And then you can explain to people how some of the equipment works, the pros and cons. Everything can have a pro and a con. Some
Yeah,
things have more
but
cons.
the thing is, when it comes to common sense
It's not.
or basic knowledge, when it comes to batteries, come on.
Man, I'm telling you,
I-
you wouldn't believe it.
If you go to our Etsy site, you're going to read some of the comments. There's one comment in there. Received the bell. It worked for whatever, a few days, whatever. It stopped working.
The battery.
Hey, did you check the battery?
I'm not kidding.
No,
Yeah,
but
I
you'll
didn't
get.
even notice that in the reviews section.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
haven't changed it. I don't care. You just some people you can't.
Yeah, we had 5 star. I think we're at 4.9 now.
4 points. I don't
No,
know.
it's 4.9.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
But there are some people. Honestly, I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but some people just should not use any equipment because they have no idea from the start. They need to learn from somebody who has equipment and then get educated and go from there. Can you pass me the screwdriver?
Oh, you really need
No,
it?
yeah. No, I'm going to take the opportunity
Okay.
now. Honest to God, this is a screwdriver.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I found one star. It quit. Yeah, it quit working after 2 days.
Yeah, that was a battery. That was a battery issue.
Wow.
we, you can only tell somebody so many times. Hey, we use, and I tell everybody we do use the cheapest batteries I can find because I'm going through so many batteries. But we're going to try it first, make sure it's working, ship it out with a battery.
Yep.
So even when you get it, it's going to work. Should definitely work.
Yeah, but we're not gonna be giving you guys Energizer and
Duracell and Energizer
Duracell.
is not coming with it unless you want a higher price. You want to pay a lot more, not a problem. We can do that.
Have almost all 5 star reviews. I saw the 1 star. I saw a couple 3 stars that make absolutely no sense.
Yeah, a lot of times people are just
Yeah. But
And,
otherwise, yeah, you got almost all 5 stars, so that's saying something.
I mean, can things happen? Absolutely, but that's why we test. It's only Marie and I, so we test the equipment before we send it out. We
yeah.
want, and if somebody has something that seems to be legitimate that we can't go ahead and I can't troubleshoot over the phone, I'm going to go ahead and get another one out to them because I want them to have the proper
Yeah.
working piece of equipment in their hand. Excuse
Well,
me.
I remember back in the day that you would be sending out saging kits to people because you sent one to Tim and Crystal that one time.
Still, I still
Yeah.
send out
Care
those type of
packages.
care packages.
Yeah.
It'd be saging, holy water that I make, and certain things for it. Necklaces, we still do those as far as have the blessed necklaces. The necklaces I do a blessing on and send those out for people that are having problems. And then when they get them, we explain how to use them. For us, it's not by all means. We definitely are not really making anything off of this. We should push prices up quite a bit compared to where we are. Is trying to get people to have an opportunity in the field to use something, but to learn how to use it. A piece of equipment, if a piece of equipment goes off one time, it's not for somebody to write home about. That's I tell everybody random.
Mhm.
You want something that's going to go ahead and interact with you is the ideal situation. The ideal situation is, hey, if that was you that actually set that off, can you go and touch the bell again? If you get that following a few times or you're asking questions, if you're a man or a boy, can you light the bell up? Nothing happens. If you're a woman or a girl, can you light the bell up? It lights up. Well, ask that same question multiple times through your conversation. And if it's always following that same answer, again, that's giving a more direction of there's some type of intelligent response going on.
I miss having activity here.
I know it's flatus. Besides the cat the other
Yeah.
day, the location that Marie was talking about, and again, this isn't even for our equipment, but you know what the sound of a pen sounds like.
Yeah.
We had a location where whoever we're talking to is answering by clicking the pen.
Yeah.
A sound like that.
It
And
was the coolest experience.
there was three of us there. It was back when had Janie with us, and I'd be like, okay, can you go over by her? And it would go over by Janie or her,
Yeah,
or Marie,
it would move around.
and
Yeah.
click right next, and you watch the person flinch because it's right in their ear at that point. But you could easily hear the difference. But we were hearing that disembodied, which was even better.
Yeah. It was so neat.
It's the approach. We sat down, we were in chairs.
Mm-hmm.
We just invite whoever's around. Hey, will you come talk to us? We don't mean any harm, any disrespect. We just want to try to talk to you, find out your story.
At first, I think it was a warning thing because when you started going up into the loft area, and it was like, remember, do you hear that? And it was going berserk with the clicking. You come back down, it stopped. You went back up, I think, and it
I
started
came
going
down to the
crazy
bottom of
again.
the stairs, and it stopped as I turned around and started
And
coming
then that's
back.
when we realized.
But when I turned around to go back up, it started all the way back up again.
And then when we kind of like started putting everything together, we're like, oh my god,
that was
something
cool.
communicating with us.
That was cool. For disembodied sounds, that's just, I mean, you can't get enough of that.
When it comes to sounds, I don't know if I've talked to you about this. Um, are you familiar with the devil's tone?
I've heard, yes. Yes.
So, do you know anything about it, or do you know of anybody who's tried to use it on an investigation?
Honestly, no.
No, okay.
Is
Because
that
I've only seen it one time, and it is a weird sound. It's like a whole bunch of different pitches together in one sound.
wow?
Apparently, it's supposed to really activate spirits in a location. I
What's
don't
that one whistle? What's
Are you talking about the death whistle?
yeah? That's got a crazy sound too.
Yeah.
know.
That's a really that'll wake everybody up and make half your team leave overnight if you do it about 2 o'clock in the morning. It's
I have one of those, and I would love to see like 20 of them in unison.
Oh my gosh, that would
Yeah.
be nuts.
I think there are tones. It's like I like to use the spirit box because to me things ramp up. Generally speaking, after utilizing a spirit box, the SB7, um, I think certain sounds do make it more appealing, or for some reason get their attention, or get them on the same frequency or level that you can communicate with them on.
Yeah.
I know that for me, a spirit box would drive me away because that hurts my ears.
It's just the amount of communication that we've gotten through that, and you know, I can use Audacity and I can take away, filter out all the static of the like you said, because you do need to have it loud, and you have to actually speak very loud. You keep a clean copy, unedited copy, and then you go ahead and you can go from there. But even without taking that noise out, the information we've gotten through there has been
Yeah.
constantly awesome, which I love. I love that. But I know a lot of people's thing is the noise that it makes.
Yeah.
But it's not always our comfort as long as you've got that interaction, you're getting that communication.
That's
I'm
true.
looking for that first and foremost.
Sometimes the apps are pretty accurate.
Apps,
It depends.
well, even utilizing, like if you use a bell, use an app. And I'm the first one to say, look, I always said no about phone apps. I hate apps in general because of the word banks.
Yeah.
But man, when you get the details that come in, and
No,
this is where the difference of a ghost hunter, if you will. Most of the people in the field want to be known as paranormal investigators. Just get this straight. Most people that are not in the field have no idea what the hell that
And they're
means.
like, what? Oh, you mean a ghost hunter?
When you say a ghost hunter, they're like, oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of pick and choose. What do people understand?
Yeah.
But the ones that are serious about it, if they can get some type of interaction, even the spirit bell, you have something coming through, and they have interaction from another source, whether it's a phone.
Well, when your dad was
app.
here, that's what sold me on the app.
That was crazy.
It was so many things. Our cat's name, your brother, his name.
Maria, this is back when Marie wanted more activity to happen in the house. So she's like, how we do it. So several days in a row, we started investigating our own house. And first, of course, it was the spirit bells start going off because I had one right on the side of the bed on the dresser over there. When it starts flashing and it's in the dark, you have to wait. Well, I have to wake up to it. You don't. But it will definitely wake you up because it's flashing so much. It's just kind of the strobe effect. So when you get ready to go to bed is when they seem to want to play. It's a great, wonderful time that I don't like very much. I'll end up having to turn it completely off. We were in the living room and we had some equipment go off, and we had the lantern was sitting way over across the room, and we had the spirit bell, and you had your app on your phone. Yeah. Which app were you using?
Spirit Talker.
And there's certain things that come in, and we're all susceptible to trying to. You hear a word and you try to associate to something around you, so it brings meaning to it.
Yeah.
It might not. It could be something it was just a random thing, but we're trying to associate it. So I'm like, come on, it if you're really here and you're really using that, you got to give me something that's here close that I know. And then Marie comes up.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, now that's very coincidental, which we already know coincidence really. Once you're in the field long enough, you'll know coincidence gets kicked to the curb real quick. I'm like, okay, well that was pretty impressive. And then our cat's name comes up.
Yep. Your brother's name when you ask about
So I'm like, okay. So I've got two names that and that's nothing else has come up through there yet. It's just these two names have come up. I'm like, all right. So
I was
who's
making you think.
who's here? And it's Raymond. Well,
that
Raymond's
came
my
through
dad.
twice. Yeah. Raymond
So
came through
I'm like,
twice.
okay, no way. Of all people you're going to come see, it's not going to be me. Let's be real. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Here, let's stop. Let's do it a different way. Now, the lantern's sitting way across the room. I'm like, it hasn't come on at all. I'm like, okay, if my dad is really here, when I name your favorite son, touch that lantern, make it light up. Well, I kid you not. But when I hit Chris, that damn lantern definitely lit
Not
up.
only that, Chris's name came through the app.
Yep.
Wow.
So to me, I'm like, there ain't nobody that could know that outside of the family. I mean, but
I missed your dad. He hung out here for a couple days. Was it a week or two?
it was pretty wild. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I'm trying to debunk it. So I'm trying to say, okay, come on, if there's something that can manipulate something, go manipulate that. Well, son of a bitch, it happens. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that was pretty impressive. And it hit
I-
on the right brother.
There's no way that was a coincidence. That my name, the cat's name, Chris's name, your dad's name. There's no way. That's
And it wasn't like a
no
bunch of
way.
other random words were coming through. It was very spot on.
Yeah.
And there's the difference. When you're just at a location, you hear all these different random words come through.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to be mature about it and think, hold on, that's not really applying to anything here.
Yeah.
And just names in general, you can't really associate. I mean, there were some popular names back in the day, but
Yeah.
that's kind of hard to associate. If you get something more detailed, and I do that a lot with the spirit box, is I'll say our name, say one of our names.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And we've got audio of Marie coming through, we've got Robert coming through plenty of times. Anybody that's with us at one point or another, usually their name will come through, and not to a
Yeah.
point that it's kind of, hey, did I actually hear that? But everybody be like, oh, I heard that
Yeah.
at the same time.
It reminds me of a time when a few of us went to the cemetery, and one of the ladies that she wasn't on the team, but she was with us. She was using this app that she had on her iPad, and it was a word bank thing. I don't remember what it was exactly, but random words are coming up, and at some point it seemed like it was trying to give us a warning, like we needed to leave. So, but
I know Necrophonus is a big one, but
Yeah.
I
use
don't know if that app was around at that time. This was a long time ago, like 2018. I don't know if Necrophonus was out at that time.
I like the Spirit Talker. I love
But there's,
that one.
again, to your point, I mean, there's plenty of times that I've been at a location, have you run into what's called a gatekeeper? What I term as a gatekeeper. It's twice we've gone into, and we had a regular, and this was a cemetery. It's one of the larger cemeteries around here we're just across the state line from Maryland. And there's a cemetery that I would go to over there, and we're very knowledgeable about the location. And again, we'll use the SB7, or we'll be using some other type of equipment, and you've got a lot of chatter coming through. And then you'll just get this real, like this time it was a very deep voice, gentleman, very crystal clear, just like you and I talking. And it's like, stop. And it's like, stop. It's like, stop communicating. And so one of my team members says something, and it wasn't too nice to him, and kind of called him some derogative names. And
Well,
then,
this one wasn't like a gatekeeping for us. This was a warning basically for our safety because this is a cemetery that we ended up getting chased out by coyotes.
Oh wow.
there you go. Perfect
Yeah.
example. Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't gatekeeping in that sense, but it was more like the old man in the horror movie. You need to get away from this place.
Oh, we've definitely got definitely got plenty of warnings that have come through as well. Like I said, we've had where somebody's come on and completely cut conversation from the other side instantly. I mean, once he started talking, we got nothing else coming through. It was
Yeah.
crazy. But
Yeah.
again, there is they manipulation can happen regardless if people want to believe it or not. I mean, what comes
We need to
through?
break. We just need to break out the Ouija board, see if we can get anything. I mean, it's been boring right here.
It's gotten to that point, quite
Yeah.
honestly. We've got a couple of boards that I picked up at a whatever
Yeah, you're lucky to
thrift
find those.
stores or
I never
whatever.
see those.
And more and more, it's like, look, we're going to have to get the board out so we can try to create some havoc just to have some fun. Not that I suggest anybody do that.
I never thought I'd ever hear those words coming out of your mouth.
It has gotten, it really has gotten so flat here. And it's like,
Yeah.
Marie's like, did you cleanse the house? And I'm like, no, it's just everything's gone except for this one cat. Last week, we're both sitting in bed on our phones and we're looking at stuff, and the lights are on and everything's fine. And we have the two cats, and they do sleep with us at night. They'll come up to the bed, and I have one cat I can definitely see, and she's looking off the bed at our other black cat, Luna, that you saw up here earlier. And then Marie says, "What are you looking at?" I said, it's Luna over here. And she's like, "No, Luna's over here." I said, "No, Luna's right there on the floor." She goes, "No, Rob, Luna's laying next to me." I look over, there's Luna laying
Yeah.
there.
That's not the first time.
Stormy the gray
we've
cat and
seen the
myself
cat.
is looking at a different black cat on the floor.
There's ghost cats here. They're different colors too, so there's more than one.
It's like, okay, but that's the only activity we've
Yeah,
had.
that's it.
It
The little
sucks.
Ghost cats.
I like activity.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about utilizing bobbleheads?
Have not. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it just hit me.
Yeah.
Because you always like the bell for instance, very easy to manipulate. Although with yours you got that range, but bobbleheads, those are so easy to manipulate too.
As long as again they're used on a solid surface, and
Yeah,
that's one of the things that we'll do is a lot of locations you go to, it's the first time there, and you have to take measures, get in a regular habit. And I do like to change things up, but I do like a methodology. If I'm going to be investigating a room, it's like I want to walk around the room. I am going to go ahead and do a sweep, see if there's any EMF fields or whatever. I'm very much about that. And I also want to see on the floor itself, is that going to vibrate or move anything? If we put lights down or we put any balls down, we're going to move about. And while they're out and we're investigating, we're typically sit down and stop
right.
unless one of us is going to leave. But that way we want to make sure the vibration doesn't do it. So with the bobblehead, great idea. I love the idea. Set them down, but make sure you take the opportunity to walk around, make sure
Yeah.
there's no floor
So
vibration
you're
or
gonna
something.
eat false.
Yeah.
Bobblehead dolls, and I don't know what they're called exactly, but they're like the little solar things, figures, and when the sun's shining, they just start swinging.
Oh yeah, like the little the Hawaiian chicks with the dresses. That's what you're
Yeah,
talking. The little solar. Yeah, it looks like she's dancing. Yeah.
yeah. Because there's those, and then there's also the ones that you don't need solar power that I've seen some people put on their dashboards, and they move while they're driving. Because I used to have a Scooby Doo one on my dash.
It's something to check out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Ideas are
It
great.
would not take much at all to move them.
Well, even when we're utilizing like the ping pong balls, I used to use ping pong balls. You can use cat balls,
Yeah.
depending on your indoor, outdoor. But if you can,
Like
when
the wind little things that spin.
the little thing, yeah,
Yeah.
right. If you're utilizing anything like that, taking a little piece of tissue paper or something, just having something you can tape off to the side or something, so people when they're watching can see whether or not there's any air blowing.
Yeah.
And tissue paper being so light, that would blow real easy.
Yeah.
But having something else there to help show, look, there's no wind. You explain why that's doing it.
Yeah.
I just it's an extra step that
Yeah. There's so many
highly
different
suggest.
things you could use.
No, I love it. And building the equipment and getting the satisfaction. When we see people that are hitting us up and they'll send us videos left and right. I should just be posting their videos, but send plenty of videos and you watch the interaction. It's like, and sometimes you have to say, hey, look, you got two pieces of equipment sitting right next to each other. That's why they're both lighting up. And we you can see that at our
Yeah,
vendor
we've
show.
had
If
that happen.
we turn too many things on at a vendor show, you're going to see the same equipment lighting up at the same time because they're setting each other off. So again, having the experience and letting people know, even if we see it, hey, try to making sure you keep it, a foot and a half apart, 2 foot apart to make sure it doesn't set the other one off. Again, it's learning the equipment, and that's what. There's not enough people to take the time to do it because they're so excited to use it, and I get it 100%. But once you have it and you start using it, start learning how to use it, and then how are you going to use it, like your question and answers, rather than just sitting it there and just waiting for it to go off. I see that all the time with flashlights. People, they'll set the flashlight and it'll finally go off. Oh, look, the flashlight went off also. Not to any questions or anything. It just randomly sometime goes off.
Yeah.
Going off one time in a half an hour really doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, again, that you kind of throw that off to the random side.
Yeah.
Do you see a possibility that this could become like a full time thing?
I, I'd like to say honestly. I mean, I enjoy building. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We got unfortunately have stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we traveled more and we were more like got out into the field more, but we have so much going on that we enjoy our life. So
We go to vendor shows, and by all means, we definitely do well at vendor shows.
Yeah, we do.
And it gives us a chance to talk to people in person. And it, well, I'm not going to say we don't make some at that point. I
I
mean,
think it could if we really wanted it to. Like if we focused and that's all we did,
yeah,
then yeah, I think we could. But I mean, we kind of just enjoy it, as a hobby. I
and it
guess.
probably keeps it more fun that way
Yeah.
rather than feeling like you have to build something or whatever.
Yeah.
But we also have. Our page doesn't do justice for how much we have. We have so much material, so many different pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
We probably got only maybe a third of the type of equipment we have on the page.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
there's-
I've noticed that there's not really a whole lot on here.
Yeah, we need to go on and like a lot of stuff that we have is not posted.
And then Etsy is wonderful about after a couple of months they drop your ads off. You have to repost them and redo. And again, we're both procrastinators
Yeah.
and we really suck
I'm
at
guilty.
that. I'll be honest with you. The guys that use the equipment, we have plenty of people that will reach out. I just had another one from another Paracon that's going to be down in Georgia, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to make Georgia, but we'll send a couple pieces down to them for just so they can do a raffle with them. Again, get some other pieces in people's hands, let them see for themselves.
So speaking of Georgia, have you been to Savannah?
No,
have
but
not.
I've heard it's very active. I want to go.
Marie's got her bucket list.
I have a whole man. Oh yeah, I do.
It's again with Marie, it's so awesome because from building equipment, first starting off, her whole thing is you don't want to have something that's complicated. Want to have something that people can use very easily. That's a big point because a
Yeah.
lot of people really don't.
They buy this stuff and they have no idea how to use it.
So if it's something that they can understand rather quickly,
Yeah.
that's all to the advantage. And then seeing the paranormal field more through her eyes as well. Again, she's got less experience than I do, so she brings that perspective to it of when we're going through a store or anything else, looking at things and being like, oh, Savannah, Georgia, what is it known for? I mean, that would be something that we target.
Yeah.
And start thinking, hey, what can we do down there? If we were headed that way.
Yeah, because I have heard that is the most haunted city in the country.
Yeah, there's some activity down there.
We've got, thank gosh, and we're very blessed. We have plenty of, we've had a lot of offers, even from, matter of fact, a couple from Georgia that we've
Yeah, we just
been
recently
at vendor
got.
events with to go ahead and send some stuff down to them and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
We've got a good network system. It's just a matter of the time to travel because we still have a
Yeah.
little one.
Yeah.
So keeping busy with her too.
But we do a little bit. We do go to some bigger events like Penhurst. We go to.
Love Penhurst, yes.
I love Penhurst.
Maine was phenomenal.
Maine, yeah, that
Jeff's
was a
up
good
in
one.
yeah.
That's one place I want to go to, Maine. Nowhere specific, just a state.
Maine was a real. Go up there when Jeff has his Paracon.
Yeah.
You'll be happy you went. By all
Yeah.
means, it's
Yeah.
It's such an incredible event, put on really, really well for vendors and everybody.
I would go out and on a limb and say the best organized event, and was his first one. It was the best.
Yeah,
The best Paracon I've ever been to as far as organization.
but again, that's very important for people. You turn around, and if you're going to do it and you're going to put something on, that was his first one, and it's the best one we've ever been to,
Yep.
as far as just the way it was laid out, not sales, but the way it was laid out. It would I would go to that one over anything else because it was really put out for everybody, both the vendors
Yeah,
and the people coming there.
it was great.
It was, but he just said, "Look, I just took what I liked about every place I went,
Yeah,
put it together," and that's what we do with equipment. We're looking at things that make sense to us as investigators that we think would work, and then we take them out in the field and find out they really do work well. Or if we do vendor shows, we can tell you where the locations are that are hot at the vendor shows.
Now, knowing that you do go up to Pennsylvania a lot,
Yeah.
I just found out about this place a couple days ago. It's called it. I don't know how it's pronounced. It's either the Mutter Museum or the Mutter Museum. It's in Philadelphia, and it's one of those extreme oddities where it has body parts, skulls.
I don't know.
It has like slices of Einstein's brain there. Um, it's in Philadelphia. The description here is that the Mutter Museum helps the public appreciate the mysteries and beauty of the human body while understanding the history of diagnosis and treatment. Uh, got lost there.
Well, I can donate my brain and see if they can figure out what I'm going. What the heck was wrong with her?
Talk about that?
That was as far as that description went, without actually going on to the website. So I was just curious if you had heard of it, and if you had, did you go?
Have not
I
been to
haven't even
that.
heard of
We
that
just
one,
bought a house not long ago up in PA,
Yeah.
in Du Bois, PA, just because of the activity.
it was very active, which is the main reason why we bought it. And now it went flat. So,
Yeah, I've been there for the most part, and it just there's nothing happening. Before there was, by all means, we did some audio, some
anywhere Rob
craziness.
goes, it doesn't want
Just-
nothing wants to be there.
The east side of Pennsylvania or the west side?
West Side.
West side. Okay, you know I'm only 4 or 5 hours away from there.
Well, I'm building it up right now. As far as it was really in bad shape on the inside. It has a great history to it. I'm not going to really elaborate on it, but because I want to invite people there to see what they pick up on. Now we've got a couple that's friends of ours that actually got in touch with us about the location, and we all investigated together. And the one person was picked on quite a bit while we were there, and we definitely caught some fantastic
In
EVPs.
hindsight, I know why.
And well, he went up to try to help, and I got a feeling that he was it influenced his performance, because I'm not sure he definitely didn't want to stay there by himself at all. So to him, he would definitely consider it to be haunted. To me, there ain't nothing happening. And I'm like, man, this is.
Mm-mm.
Are you serious? Come on,
Not
we just
compared
bought
to
this.
when we first bought it, man. I'm telling you, it was very active.
Yeah,
Very
you could just stand there and listen to the voices and stuff in it, which
Yeah.
was great. And then knowing the history of it, it was like, okay, this is really going to be good.
Yeah.
And now things have gotten really flat.
Yeah. Because now it knows you're going to be there. I think Rob Murphy's going to be
We'll,
here.
we'll
We're
take
getting
the
outta
Ouija
here.
board there too.
Yeah, we definitely
Again,
need to go
you're
there.
right, Jeremy. I would never in the past. I'm like, don't ever. And I strongly urge nobody just to go out and play with a Ouija board. There are people that know how to use them, and they know what they're doing. So please learn first before you decide to.
Yeah, that's the problem. People don't learn how to use these things.
Yeah, people want to say that all equipment is the same thing as a Ouija board and everything, and it's sorry, it's not true.
Yeah, I disagree.
Most of the people that are treating locations or treating people, the Ouija board is the most common element that we find. And it's people that I haven't even spoken, and I speak to them for the first time, and they've been doing exorcisms for 10, 20 years, whatever, and they're running into the exact same information, whereas been in play. And it doesn't mean it's been in play within the past week. It could be a year, 2 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's very common. So to your point, people just don't know what they're getting into, and
Hmm.
that one seems to have the worst avenue of all,
Yeah.
to utilize. Utilizing regular equipment, and the biggest part is your belief system. If you go and you say, "Look, I'm telling you right now, nothing has permission," people that go to these locations and go, "Oh, you can touch me and use my body, you can use any equipment, whatever."
That usually doesn't end well for them.
Yeah,
I've
you're
seen
asking
it.
for something you ought not be asking
Yeah.
for. Let them play with the equipment. When you're done, nothing's allowed to come with their equipment. Nothing's allowed to come with us. We're going home. You're staying here. See you. Bye. Set the rules.
Yeah. Oh wow, it's almost 8:30.
Well, that was quick.
Well, quit.
We haven't done any lives or podcasts lately. We're gonna have our own tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're going to start back up. Start.
Yeah, I just saw like an event thing you had set up when I went to your page.
That's the first one we've done in a while.
Get back into it.
Yeah. We can't stay consistent though. We never know what we're gonna do.
That's been a very big issue. Depending on depending on activity, depending on what we're working on at the time. So
Yeah, well, I can understand that trying to stay consistent. It's like for me, even though I have been doing these shows every week, it's not that easy.
no, no. It's nice to take a break. It's nice to go ahead and recenter yourself. Let yourself go ahead and do something else that's
Yeah.
completely different.
Yeah,
Even just working on that house, it's so nice to go somewhere else and put your energy into something different and then come back to it.
Yeah.
and having said that, you can appreciate the irony when you say that you don't know anything electrical or stuff like that when it comes to building your equipment, yet you work for a construction company.
Yeah, I'm a safety. I oversee. I mean, I know the general what not to do.
Yeah,
And again, it's learning. It's what you have to build a comfort level to it. It's like wiring whatnot. Now, yeah, I'm rewiring our electric at the location and whatnot. It's growth. Learn it and become familiar with it before you go. Like I would do something extremely low voltage before
right.
I start messing with any house wiring. But I'm not. I'm testing everything, make sure all the power's off. I'm not the type that's going to go up there and be a Sparky and put things together while it's live. That's just not my
I
forte.
think, I think the thing that I would be worried most about if I would have tried to do something like this is if I need to solder anything.
Oh, Rob's good at soldering.
It it takes learning it, but it's having the right tools. I'm telling you, everything is about having, getting the right information, learning it, and then becoming confident in what you're doing, which it does take time. Putting together a piece of equipment, honest to gosh, almost anybody can do it. But unfortunately, you're going to have, I've seen people try to do things and the wiring is ungodly. Not how they wired it, it's just that the shit's all hanging out. Looks like confetti falling off of it at the same time. They're like, look, I just built this. And it's like, yay, poor birds are going to get caught up in that or something. Holy shit. And it's a mess. And to do it to a level that you're going to keep producing the same thing and you're going to be putting them out to other people, that should be your name, your reputation on the line right there. That should mean something to you.
Right.
You want people to look at you. That's different. That's completely different than just building it one time as to building it 30 and 40 times
Yeah.
or hundreds of times.
Yeah, because if you're going to put something out there, you want to put something out there that you're going to be proud of.
Absolutely.
So I can fully I can fully relate to that.
People have made videos and they're like, look, it wasn't too difficult to really do something like this. And it's like, watch how it works. I mean, why are you're even going to videotape what you do? It's like,
Yeah.
it's a mess. But people are going to do it. It's just fact of life. More power to them. We just keep moving forward with our stuff.
Hey, we got a good reputation. I don't know about them, but I know we do.
Yeah, we are blessed. We do. We were out to take care of anything. Try to help people and try to put things in the right perspective for people. So,
Right.
just getting more into people's hands so that they can experience the paranormal. I think that's our ultimate goal.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I will end the show the same way that I have been ending the show. this season, something I've introduced. So something new for you guys.
Okay.
I always try to do things on a positive note. Well, usually that happens anyway. But I always I have been stealing from another podcast um, called Insight.
Right.
And what this guy does is at the end of every interview, he asks his guest what three things they are most grateful for. And I love that little segment, so I decided to incorporate that into my show. So so I'm going to ask the both of you at because it'll always change day to day. At this moment right now, what are three things you two individually are grateful for?
Two things. I'm
Three
grateful. Three things.
three
I'm
things.
grateful for my husband most of all. Um, my cats and my daughter. Those are my three things I'm grateful for.
Me is divine intervention because I believe that's obviously
Yeah,
how we got together was
that's true.
through divine intervention. I definitely, um, I can't honestly say I have a lot of friends, but the close friends that I have, I'm extremely grateful for the true friends. You know what I mean? The ones that are legitimate.
Well, I know exactly what you mean.
it, it's unfortunate to have to say that now, but it really means a lot to me. We've got some incredible friends, and again, I'm honestly I'm blessed from above as far as to be able to help others, and so to me that
That would
just
have to
rocks
be
my
a
world.
combined gratitude for the divine higher up.
Absolutely.
Apparently, you're also supposed to be grateful for Scott.
Hey Scott,
Me.
Scott, I tell you what, when you want humor, Scott does not lack it at all. And I'm sorry, I just started. Marie's like, "Can you move the comment bar down so we can see them all?" And
Yeah,
I apologize
we
missing
missed like the
so many
last 40
people.
minutes.
Chris was on. Hey, Chris. Sorry, Lauren. Thank you so much. I'm just trying to scroll up real quick to see some of the names real quick to say hey. Apologize if we didn't say it.
Whoops.
Yeah, well, when they've been coming in, I've just been giving them a little wave so I don't interrupt what you guys have been saying.
What about yourself?
Well, it's been the same thing. My dad, my daughter, and my mother. Even though she's not here, I'm still grateful for her.
Aw,
Awesome.
sweet.
Yeah,
Good.
because I've got a million things that I can be grateful for, but those are my three main ones.
Love it.
But yeah, I decided to incorporate that into this show just to add a little something unique that you don't see on any other paranormal show.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, tell everybody where they can find you, and also promote your return tomorrow night.
Yep, we're Elite Paranormal Society is our actual investigative team. We've changed the name as far as for our building. We did it under 24 Elite. So you can find our Etsy shop at 24elite.etsy.com to look for anything. Scott's hopefully I didn't mess up your picture too much, Scott. Apologize. Tomorrow night we're going to be doing our EP. We're going to start back up on our EPS Paratalk.
Yeah, you guys come check us out tomorrow night and hang out with us.
Those are interactive as well. So we'll try to go ahead and try to get any information we can from anybody. But that's going to be our return. It's going to be tomorrow. We'll be here. We'll be doing it through StreamYard, Facebook. It'll be plastered pretty well. So
See? That means you need to go to the Battlefield Bash this year. Everybody's expecting you to be there. You can't do that. You can't disappoint, babe.
yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to get out there myself. I just don't know if I want to be around that many people.
We love the vendors, man. I appreciate everybody we've been able to talk to at the vendor events or any
Yeah.
events that we've been to, man. It's great just hearing other people's perspective. It's not all about us. We want to hear about y'all.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. As usual, it's always been a pleasure.
It's
Uh,
been an honor of ours, by all,
Yes.
we love
I
doing it.
always enjoy it.
and next season, as usual, I'll get you on here.
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody out there in the audience, thank you so much for playing along with us tonight. Next week on 13th Dimension, I am going to have John Ward on the show. He is a paranormal investigator, but the reason I'm having him on is because he is also an author, and his new book, A Blackened Heart, A Blackened Soul, is coming out next Friday, and I just got real lucky to get him scheduled on release day. Um, you may know him better as the author of the Scareville series, which is more for um, middle grade reading, but he does a real good job on those books. And this is his first release as like adult mainstream. So he's real excited about that one. So he will be on next week on release date on the 16th. And once again, Robert, Marie, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks, guys.
And we will see you guys next time. Be safe out there. Have a good, safe weekend. I know a bunch of places it's snowing, so be careful.
No, don't even say it. I don't want it to show up here.
And we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.